reading Revelation, the 12th chapter and 13th chapter, it's really interesting here. In the 7th verse of chapter 12, it says, there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought, and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon that was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows he has a short time left. So this is when the new world order, that global government, will come to life, set up by Satan the devil. Verse 13, when the dragon saw he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And it says that in verse 17, the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So this is when this persecution of the dissidents, what they call the real Christians, comes about. And then it goes into that global government in chapter 13, that beast with the 7 heads and the 10 horns. And I saw one of its heads as it was wounded to death, and its deadly wound was healed. This is when the New World Order comes to life after suffering a defeat on the 7th head of that beast. They worship the dragon that gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast. See, that government that becomes like God. Who is like unto the beast, and who's able to make war with him? They think they have it so sewn up. They think that they are going to rule. And like George Bush Sr. says, and we will not fail. They really think that that New World Order is going to go somewhere. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. That's 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. They're not in the book of life. If any man have an ear to hear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Remember, it says you will be betrayed by kinsfolk, by friends, by brothers, by parents, or by children. Then it says, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Whereas Christ, we don't battle fleshly. Here is the patience. This is what's important, though. The patience, the endurance, and the faith of the saints. Okay, talks about another beast that looks like a lamb, but speaks as a dragon, and they have all the power of the beast. They're the might, the military might, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. He causeth all, great and small, rich and poor, and free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, say, lest he had that mark, or the name of the beast, the number of his name. That number is, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. It is not Christ. It is not the true Messiah. They will have a false Messiah. And his number is 666. See, 7 is the perfect number, and 6 is a man's number. Not quite. They want to be God, but they never reach that. They can never reach that, you know. And then in chapter 14, we see those that stand with Christ upon Mount Zion. The real Mount Zion, and those that follow him no matter where he goes, no matter how strange it looks. They keep following Christ, you know, in this dark world. And then Babylon is falling. And in verse 9 it says, the third angel followed, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead and his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, Jesus Christ. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever. They have no rest day or night who worship the image of the beast, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name. It's final. No rest day or night, forever. Be careful, because this is an eternal judgment right here we're talking about. Again, in verse 12 it says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Like Jesus said, there will not a hair of your head perish. Fear them not. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works to follow them. It's a long road. It's been a long road, you know. Yeah, I've been at it for a long time. This road, full of suffering, you know, is what it is, you know. Ever since I became a Christian, it's been filled with suffering. From the time I was 18 years old, that's when I found out about suffering. Yeah, it hasn't been a bed of roses, you know, but that's necessary. God uses His people, and then it comes time to God to reap the earth, you know. And he thrust in verse 19, the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trodden outside of the city, and the blood came up out of the winepress onto the horses' bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs. You know. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, and what I'm trying to tell you is that it's going to be natural for it to be a hard and a grievous time. And Jesus Christ, as He cried out to His Father, my God, why hast Thou forsaken me? This was the feeling, because God gave Him into the hand of His enemies. You see, and it felt at that time like God had forsaken Him. And He cried out, as the Bible says, He cried out with strong outcries and tears. He was suffering. And don't feel bad about that. We all want to put on a big brave face and appear strong all the time. But sometimes the enemy is too strong for us. That's why it says the power is given them to overcome the saints. And we might be like a lamb to the slaughter, that open up not our mouth, we open not up our mouths. All these things were saying for Jesus Christ and for our benefit also in the Old Testament scriptures, in the Hebrew scriptures. The things that were written for Jesus are also written for his disciples to a minor extent, because Jesus says, they hated me, they will hate you also, the disciple is not above his master, but if they hated me, they will hate you also, So that's how it is, So that's my advice. Don't fret about those things, And they appear strong and will appear weak. They will rejoice and we will mourn at that time. But our mourning shall be turned into joy. That's the key, you see. That's the wonderful thing. To keep faithful to God in everything. And until that time. And he will bless you. He loves you if you're faithful to him. If you love him, he loves you. And he is definitely one that is worthy of our love and our honor. And our praise all goes to him. He is so wonderful. Everything, every good thing and perfect present gift comes down from the Father, our Father of celestial lights. He is so good. We see such ugliness in the world today. It hurts me every day that there's no place clean anymore, that we have no place to go to get refreshment in this world. We can only go to our Father, But, so that draws us closer to God, and His Spirit is what makes us feel close to Him, because that's His Spirit and His love. He loves us, those that are faithful to Him. So remain faithful and pray that you may be worthy to escape all these things that are destined to occur and to stand before the Son of Man.